Hi, this is Courtney, your Lexis research attorney, with some tips on how to use one great case to instantly expand your research. So let's say this case, US v. Beecham, was a key case at our issue, and we loved it, and we wanted to use it to support our argument, but we wanted more resources to kind of have as our ammunition. One of my most favorite tools is if we go down past the case summary to the LexisNexis headnotes. These are going to be the key rules of law that have come out of this case. So generally, when I fall in love with a case, I fall in love with a headnote or a rule of law that came out of this case. So say we really liked this headnote right here. It's telling us that there's a two-step test involved with this rule. We want to use this rule of law out of this case in our argument, but it would be really great if we had more cases that said this exact same thing to support our argument. Below each headnote is going to be the option to shepherdize narrow by this headnote. If you click on that, that will take you to a Shepard's report showing you all of the other cases that have cited back to your case, US v. Beecham, but particularly for the rule of law in headnote 10. So you now have 548 cases that have cited back to Beecham for that rule of law right there. You can then focus on the different treatment that they gave that rule of law. Depending on which argument side you're on, you could look at the different cases that have critiqued or criticized or distinguished that rule of law. So you would know what your counter argument was, or if you wanted to find the counter argument, that's how you could do that. You could also get rid of that distinguished, just focus on the cases that followed that rule of law in headnote 10 to add to the ammunition. You then would want to narrow down further by jurisdiction to make sure you were citing to cases in your jurisdiction. But shepherdize narrow by this headnote is a great way to instantly expand your research. Another way to instantly expand your research, and this works in cases as well as statutes, over on the right under About This Document, there will be the option to find references to this case or find references to this code if it's a statute. If you click on that, it essentially turns your case or your statute into a search term. So now you're looking at all of the other content on Lexis that's cited back, again, to your case or your statute, depending. Now, you might not think of it, but law review articles are a great place to look for persuasive writing pieces. So when you're looking to write to the court, law reviews can be a really great place to look. You can focus in on secondary materials. Secondary materials are the larger umbrella for treatises, law review articles, jurisprudence, and then you can narrow in specifically on the category of secondary materials. You want law reviews and journals. And then if you wanted to, you could search within results for additional terms that were on point for you. Another thing I like to do then is just to change the sort order to date newest to oldest. That way I have the most recent law review articles up the top. Now what we see here is we have a comment on protecting a defendant's right to trial by closing the door on that 404B evidence. Now I realize this probably has nothing to do with what you're researching, but regardless, if you can find a law review article that either makes your argument or the counter argument, that's such a great jumping off point for your research. Think of law reviews as a brief to whoever will listen, right? They're usually writing about something that's unresolved, which is what you guys are writing about in your classes as well. So then as you go down, you're going to have a link to all of their arguments, and these are scholarly pieces, so they're going to be cited to extensively, so you can use all of their footnotes to link out to their primary authority. You can also shepherdize a law review, and even if no cases have cited to it, you can focus in on their table of authorities, and that will show you all of the cases that they cited to within their articles. You can quickly print this and have just that one page of all of your authority. Another thing we can do then, so I'm back on the results list for that case, showing us the law reviews and journals. We can also take a peek at any of the briefs, pleadings, and motions that have cited to our case. Again, if needed, we could search within results for additional terms. We would want to narrow down by our jurisdiction to make sure that we were finding briefs in our jurisdiction so that the law was binding, and then also the court rules were applicable as well. We could do the same thing, change our sort order by date, newest to oldest, find the most recent briefs that have been filed with the court. You'll notice that the blue text for all of these is the title of the document. And so when you guys are looking for your motion for summary judgment or motion to preclude or motion to exclude the evidence, you're going to want to search just the title portion for one of those key terms to pull up documents that are the motion that you're looking for. And so what you can do is you can tell Lexis, just search that blue title portion by typing in title, and then whatever word you want to find in that title portion in parentheses then. So say I wanted to find any briefs or motions to preclude the evidence, I can go ahead and I can search for preclude. And here I have all of my motions to preclude the evidence based on that 404B. It's going to mention our case, so we can go ahead and we can open it up. And we're going to see the text of the document just like anything else on Lexis, so it's going to link you out to the primary authority. You can review their argument, but in order to see the document as it was filed with the court, so to see their table of contents, their table of authorities, everything like that, over on the right under original source image, if you click on that, it's going to open up a PDF of the document that's going to look the way we received it from the courthouse. So here you have the document showing where to tab, where to bold, where to italicize. You can see exactly how that document worked. And remember, we never left our case. We used that one case to instantly jump off and expand our research. So shepherdize now by this head note, find references to this case or this code, and then instantly look in the law reviews and journals or also the briefs, pleadings, and motions.